What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Welcome from the hub. A big thing I want to kind of bring up to you guys is, man, it's going to be a not popular video, but sometimes the only solution is to suffer. I know I'm a terrible person. I had to tell you it, but sometimes the only solution is to suffer. It is to push through the uncomfortableness. It is to push through the things you don't like to do. So many times when we were watching Gary Vee and all these other people saying how they had these massive workouts that changed their life, they didn't like a minute of it. And people are out here selling you, oh, I love the adrenaline and the endorphins. And no, sometimes you just suffer through the workout. You just suffer through the exercise. You just suffer through different hard times. Every day is not sunshine and flowers and rainbows. That's not life. And whoever told you that was real life did you a disservice. A big thing I really want you guys to understand is when it comes to, having a little technical difficulties there. Let's see if we can do it again. Sorry, I apologize for that. So one of the biggest things I try to get people to understand about business and growth and personal growth is you will start projects and hate the grind. And I don't recommend you grind forever, but a 2 to 5 year window, it may be where you're in an uncomfortable season. And every time you want your business to produce more and grow more, it'll be more uncomfortable. I used to remember people comparing and complaining about wealthy kids getting the heads up. If you actually look around, when people get about 25 to 45, life consequences start coming at them hard. Now, what do I mean by that? If the guy or girl wasn't that smart and mommy and daddy were pushing them through life and pushing them in jobs and pushing them in opportunities, they might luck up and they might marry a good one and kind of coast through life. But the trajectory of coasting is always down, right? Look at the Compound Effect book. It's a great book. Compound effect is you constantly doing something on a consistent long-term base, walking every day, eating healthy over long periods of time. Not this like, hey, 6 months I did this, I lost 100 pounds. Well, can that person keep that going? And a lot of times people don't want to suffer. They don't want to be uncomfortable. They don't want to suffer. And when I use the word suffer, just discomfort, just the discomfort of life. Where there's anytime things change or you need to move to a new city or your kids get out of the toddler age, now they're into this age, then they come out of preteens, now they're teenagers. Every season of life, there's a little bit of suffer. Every time you want something great, there's a little bit of suffer. And I could be like a lot of people out here on YouTube and lie to you and tell you everything's easy and you'll just sail into 6 figures. There is transition marks every step away, transitioning up in life, transitioning up in opportunities, transitioning up in the amount you might have to suffer a little bit. Now, again, you ever talk to somebody who sells their company, they sold their baby, the thing they worked on, the thing they poured themselves into, that's a degree of suffering. They're pouring themselves energy, mind, body, and soul into a project, only to later sell it. It's a very difficult thing. Same thing of having relationships and marriages. And a lot of times I think people think that they're never supposed to suffer, that everything is supposed to be gravy at all times. And so you need seasons of solitude, you need seasons of quiet so that you can go, that's what I was supposed to learn from that lesson. The most time I was clear, and again, money follows clarity, money follows intention, money follows focused, determined people. Right? Now, why do I say it like that? So many times I'll get on the phone with people. I kind of want to do this. I kind of want to do that. Maybe do this. Maybe do that. Money cannot flow in that. And this ain't no woo-woo, but it's a little bit woo-woo. Money needs you to be clear on your intention. I am doing this in the next 90 days. And every single person I talk to, every single thing I entertain has to be in this spirit of this. If you want to learn the stock market, you're joining Diamond Days class, you're joining Todd Milley, whoever, you're joining Terry's. Every day for the next 90 days, your focus and attention should be that class, should be those lessons, should be learning the stock market, should be just absorbing an hour or two every day of stock market information and patterns. And you should be doing what? Not just knowing, not just learning, but doing. Doing. So many people, oh man, how fast can I make 10K, 15K, 20K a month, Erica? How fast can I get there? And a lot of times I want to tell you, there's a level of suffer. There's a level of learning. There's a curve into this thing. that's going to allow you to grow. Money follows that clarity. When I was working 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs, I was like, I do not want to be doing this for the next 40 years. Very clear. This is why I'm going to go here for a second. Y'all got to stop drinking every time you come home from work. You got to stop smoking every time you come from work. You got to stop. I need to veg out and watch 6 hours of Netflix. Stop. Get very clear with the feeling you're feeling. This sucks. I don't want to live here anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to feel these feelings anymore. Get very powerfully clear on that. And when you get that clarity in your spirit, you're going to be like, oh, okay, so we're doing this. We're turning the curve. We're going A, B, C. We're going somewhere else. We will not be here again, right? There's always a conversation. We will not be here again. There's a joke on meme when women cut all the hair off. She is done with that man, right? And that's how clear you need to be with your money intentions. When I sit down and tell people the best thing I ever did was sit down and write the ideal year for myself, how much I want to travel, where, how many massages, how many dentist appointments, how many eye care appointments, how much did contacts cost, how much did actual care for my physical body cost, and this is the total. Once I knew that number, life was unstoppable because I had a clarity and intention of how much I needed to make. Now my goal at that point was to 10x that. Let's get past that. Every time you come in and you're not clear, when I go into a conference and I see people kind of shuffling in, head down, not really listening, they're not clear on what they're there for. They need to be very clear on what they're there for and what they're hearing. Whenever I hear somebody say they didn't learn anything at a conference, I'm very nervous of that person. You didn't learn a thing. Were you listening? Were you clear on your attention of why you went to the conference? These are things you have to ask yourself, okay? So when someone sits there and tells me, I'm kind of thinking of doing this, Eric, I'm kind of doing that, I want them to sit down and say, why is that your number? Why do you believe that? I need you to be clear on your intention, clear on your direction, clear on your desires. Because the more clear you are and clear to your ears and your subconscious, the better it will be. You don't have to start businesses you don't like for money. That's for certain. But there's a lot of people who don't want to suffer at all. And the lack of suffering is what's going to be your problem. You're so busy looking around at every boy and girl who's married and look how easy their life is. And you have no clue to the degree that couple, whatever it may have been, relationship problems, financial problems, family problems, had to suffer to get there. Oh, they didn't have to suffer at all. They cakewalk through life. And trust me, we're getting to a point, and I love this. I love having older friends and younger friends where I can sit here and say, hey, younger friend, you see our friend over there that's 55, 60 and struggling? There was a point where they could have chose to suffer and they refused. Now that suffering could be of various ways. It could be in relationships, how you had to push through and work with someone or pursue dating or calling multiple women till you found what you wanted. That could be a way of suffering. For women, it could be losing weight, working out, being agreeable, finding someone you can partner and work with. That's just life. That is a lifelong challenge, okay? I'm seeing people in their 70s getting married. I've seen somebody right now who just is they both been married multiple times and they found each other and they're dating, they're happy. I'm like, that song and dance of life with a person never ends. They're in their 70s. And neither person's all like, I'm just going to date and do this. No, they're going to get back on the horse again. That's the song of life. Now, another end on that is jobs and career. All good careers, even if they're great, come to an end. Now, who are you at the end of that career? What do you desire? And what's the new direction, the new clarity, the new focus? Where is it? Where is it? You have to decide. You have to be clear on it. Another thing is money. We have to address your feelings on money. What are your feelings on money? Do you have survivor's guilt that you made a lot of money, but your family's still struggling? Your cousins are still struggling. You're always bailing people out of jail and you're giving money away just to make yourself feel better. Survivor's guilt. How do you feel about money? Until you become very clear about how you feel about money, it's just a thing you just toss and throw away. That's how you'll treat it for many years to come. If that's how you want to treat money, that's how it will get away from you. It will get away from you. It follows your frequency. It follows your clarity. Why do I talk about stop trying to live under the radar? So many people come to me, oh, Erica, I'm just keeping a low profile. I'm over here. I'm private. I'm hiding. Money does not follow that. Money follows attention. Money follows attention. So many times people say, oh man, my cousin, he has a plumbing business and he's short on work. He just can't seem to get enough work. So either two things are happening. He's a bad plumber. He's not what? Getting the right attention. Many people try to say, I want to fly under the radar. Okay. I don't want people in my business. Well, guess what? Money will also not be in your business. Okay. So let's be very clear. When you guys get on phone calls with me, one of the number one things I tell you guys, I'm like, go wrap your car immediately. Be clear on what you want to do. You want to be a plumber? You want to be HVAC? You want to be roofing? You want to be just about anything, credit repair. Wrap your car. Your phone will ring nonstop because people are doing what? Getting attention to it, seeing it, wanting to be a part of it, wanting to understand, and wanting the clarity of direction. So this running under the radar, this low profile, these YouTube channels without a face, it is not money drawing attention, right? Money doesn't sleep, but it gets bored, okay? Money seeks attention. This is why when we hear these stories of people giving money to people that we think, why would they give money to that Yahoo? Because he had attention. Because he was clear on his focus and his purpose and kept presenting an opportunity to you. That's all. Right? So even in this channel, there have been seasons on this channel where I have not been clear on my focus. And it's come across in my videos, it's come across in my personal life, and it still comes across to this day. You have to be clear. What was my original goal starting all this? To own lots of real estate, to own lots of land. You may take detours and make stops along the way, but you have to be very clear on your intention. What do you want? What is the number you want? So many times people say, well, 20, 30 grand a month, I'm doing okay. I'm not okay with that. I want 200 grand a month. I want 100 grand a month. I want $500,000 a month. Why? Because energy and money and focus follows attention. It follows the clarity of what you want. I don't want to just get by and maybe sometimes fly first class and sometimes no, I want to do that all the time. I want to pick up on a day's notice and fly all over the world, and it doesn't matter the cost to me because I can choose to do it. Yes, do we plan out our life? Do we plan out our year? Do we plan out months? Do we plan? All that stuff's fine. Plan all that stuff out in advance. But you should be in a financial position at some point, if you choose to suffer a little bit, where you can just pop on off on a dime. A lot of times we're comparing each other to something in their 20s and how people looked in their 20s and how easy it was, and your parents did this and your parents did that. And, I didn't come from no spoon-fed, high money class family. It don't matter. Because by 45, that Billy Bob with nice hair and family helping them go through life, his parents are dead. I mean, by the time you reach a lot of 45, 50-year-old people, their parents are no longer with them, or their parents need money and resources and care from them. So if they were not clear on their attention and they never chose to suffer, they coasted through their whole adult life. This is where you see these stories of people, the uncle having to live in the grandma's house because he never got his life together. The aunt that needs to stay with the grandma to take care of her when really she never had a pot to piss in. We see that stuff. They were never clear about life and about improving. So get some clarity, get some focus. You may have to suffer a bit to get what you want. And we hate the word suffer, but a dead fish can float upstream, y'all. A dead fish, right? So anything you want is going to require some push, some focus, some energy. So get to that today. This is your girl Erica, Classic Line Blog. I hope you join me for the sold out event. It's already sold out. Sorry. Ground up construction. I'm very proud of this. This is my first time co-partnering with a student, a former classic climber who essentially has over 30 years of construction and realtor experience. And we're gonna have an all great time. And also we're gonna have 10 land lots available for sale. That's just for you to completely independently own your own land lot, build from the ground up for yourself, and have results in under a year and really under 6 months. But it depends on what's going on with you. But I'm very blessed that we're sold out. Thank you so much for those who are attending. I will try my hardest to convince Ron of more, but that might not happen. And so always be on the lookout when we have events. and be ready to join. For those of us joining us in Panama and Zanzibar this year, I'm excited about that. I look forward to that opportunity. So this is your girl Erica, Classy Climb Blog. Later.